Here. This is Keith Boggs with Stonebriar Property Inspections, and this is the debrief for 2141 Woodhaven Drive. We've got about 118 items. Most of these are pictures. I do have some videos in here. First picture you see here is just a picture of the front of the house once it opens up here. Nothing necessarily wrong. That's just for the title page of the report. First picture you see here is just a picture of the thermostat, so I make sure that I return the thermostat back so I don't get a phone call saying you didn't put the thermostat back. So that's where it was set when I got here. That's where it's at now. That will not be in the report. It'll be in this video, it won't be in the report. One of the very first things I did was I checked for supply leaks. And so this is the water meter. And this little triangle here, it's called a low flow indicator. And so if you turn the water on, it starts spinning around. The more water, the faster it spins. It's very sensitive. Even if you turn that on just dripping, you can slowly see this thing creeping along. I mean, they don't miss a drop, the utility company. Okay. The water company doesn't miss a drop. So I sit there and I stare at it for a couple minutes, and in the last 30 seconds, I take a little video so that I can show you that there are no supply leaks at this time. And so basically I just sit there and stare at that little sucker.
And it's solid.
Yep, it's just sitting right there.
Got it.
Yeah. We'll let it finish so we have it for the recording. And it's very sensitive. I've in the past put a little, make a little marker with a black marker, and then if I think there's this real slow leak, and then come back, and then you can see it slowly creeping. Sometimes even brand new houses have supply leaks. You'd be surprised. This is the roof, and this is the video of the roof. So it's pretty steep. You may hear me huffing and puffing and cussing and yelling. Trying to keep my balance. We're going to play. It's only, well, it's about 3 minutes. It's a pretty big roof. Roof cover's in good condition. It's a decent roof. It's not the best roof out there, but it's a decent, probably a 30-year roof, which means it's good for about 18.
Right.
Here in Texas, it could be good for
6.
6. Yeah. Some of these pictures are pretty steep here.
And the seals around all the venting look good.
Yeah. Yep. I actually walk the roof first, and then I take this video. That way I'm not trying to do 2 things at once.
Makes me nervous just watching.
Yeah, some of these pictures are pretty steep.
Seem to have a good bit of ventilation, roof ventilation.
Yeah, the ventilation looks good. They've got some soffit ventilation, which is good because sometimes they forget that. That's why I went up there. That's actually a walkable pitch right there. Okay. Well, you'll see me walking down in a minute. Actually, I think right now. I can with
it's doable. Huh?
Yeah, 11 on 12 on 12 is walkable without a valley. You get inside a valley, you can walk super steep. This is about where I stop, right about 12 on 12. It gets real hairy. I've fallen twice. Both times we're getting on the roof, about to get on the roof.
Yeah.
Never actually fallen from the top of the roof down. So
the transition's always the most dangerous.
Yeah, that's getting off is usually. I've fallen twice getting on. Okay, we'll just let this finish so we have it for the wife and for the recording.
I mean, I don't see anything. It looks pretty good.
No, it looks really good. Yeah.
You did the flashing correctly.
Yep, it did. Yep. The only thing here, there's one thing here. You'll hear me talking in a second. That little veneer brick.
Coming off there.
Yeah, right there. That's the only thing. That does need to be put back in place. There's a vapor barrier there, but if that vapor barrier was not done perfectly, you could get water down the chimney. Try to get in. I actually grabbed that one there. I try to get in kind of close. I'm going as much as possible. So if I fall, I have something to grab onto.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
This is almost done now.
Oh, there's your
Yeah.
Okay.
This is your. You have 2 water heaters, one on each side. They're
Right.
on the exterior walls. I don't particularly like them on the exterior walls. They tend to not last as long. They rust faster. They're good for 20 years, 20, 25 years, but on these exterior walls, I see them having like 12 years, or they're rusting out and having to be replaced.
Natural gas.
Yeah, natural gas. Yeah. This is your condenser over on the other side here. Some of these pictures in here are just for me. You'll see a manufacturer's label here in a second. That's so when I look at the panel box to verify the max breaker, and it was fine. The breakers did match.
Okay.
And then this is a little short video of that condenser over there on the I think house source is south, east, west side. These are pretty short.
Condenser fins are in good shape. It sounds good. A lot of times, unit I just put in my other house.
They go through phases. You start seeing a lot of carriers, and I start seeing a lot of trains. It's like they're making deals with these builders or something.
Yeah.
This is your main panel box, and it looks fine. No problems there.
Okay. Is that a 400 amp?
200 amp. 200 amp. And then this is your little sub panel box.
Okay.
And you have, I think you have space on both of these. No, that one's pretty, a little bit right there.
What's the sub panel for?
That's probably feeding the pool.
Pool stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they've got some arc fault breakers, so probably some of the bedrooms.
Okay.
Yeah. Then there's 3 garage doors. I did a test at each one of them, the pressure reverse test, to put a paint can in front of there, make sure it reverses under pressure, and then I put my foot in front of the electronic eye to make sure that the electronic eye works.
Okay.
So I'll play these so we have them. And I'm also looking at the door to make sure it's not kinking and binding and things not looking right. They're not lubricated, so I'd recommend getting some white lithium grease and lubricating all those doors. It's going to make them quiet, a lot more quiet.
Are they chain or belt drive?
I don't remember. I think they're chain. No, they're belt.
They didn't sound too bad.
Yeah, they're not too bad, and they're big, heavy. They're big, heavy doors.
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah, and that's just the electronic eye test.
Okay.
And this is actually the water pressure.
Yeah.
The range is 40 to 80. You're almost to 80, about 75, which is good. I like that.
Me too.
And these are the 2 doors. The other 2 electronic, the 2 tests of the other 2 doors. Pretty quickly reverses. You can tell if the pressure is even a little bit too much. It just takes a little split second longer.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell when it's a little bit too much pressure, and it reverses pretty quickly. Yeah, of course, if it crushed the pan can, then we got a problem. This first eye test, I kicked my foot. I guess I must have missed the eye, so you'll see me kick it again because it didn't reverse. So I had to go back and kick it again. There we go. That did work.
Okay.
I just wanted to verify that. Then this is the next door. That one's a little binding a little bit.
Yeah.
It did reverse quickly though. Those doors are extremely heavy. You can't, if that thing's not working, you can't lift them for nothing. I don't know what they weigh, but they're heavy.
I wish they weren't wood. So they have a lot more maintenance on those.
Yeah, I have wood doors, and there are some maintenance involved. They have some pretty good fake, the metal ones that look like wood, and they're pretty good. You can still tell. There's a little bit of cracking, structural cracking. This is inside a mortar joint. It does screw through here a little bit. It's near a weak area. Any kind of opening, window, door, garage, it's a weaker area. It's more prone to. That's why they advertise on TV. Any cracking in doors or windows, call Ocean. Yeah. That's why they did that. And that one's right there.
Okay.
And there, and then there's and then there's another crack, a couple more cracks. There'll be a couple pictures in the report, and then a statement just saying that there's stuff in the garage and I could not see behind. It's a fairly new house. I can't imagine there's something. I'll imagine there's anything there, but I don't know. Is there a giant oil spill there?
Sure.
So we just want to have them, ask the sellers, is there anything you want to tell us, basically?
Okay.
This is the location of gas meter, and then also you've got we did a termite report. I did not find any termites. I have a picture where my sticker is.
Okay.
But you've got a high soil here and a piece of wood laying against the foundation.
I see that. Yeah.
So that's a conducive condition for termites. Now they say the termites won't touch structural framing for 10 years. Pressure treated wood. If it's all pressure treated, I have found termites at a brand new house one time. I think it was something that they added onto the house, and they probably used a contractor. But anyway, it can happen. But you should have a good 5 or 6 years before you have to start worrying about that. Regardless, the sticker that I put under there, since I didn't find any termites, I'm going to give you a 1-year warranty. So if you find any termites show up, you just call the phone number, and I'll show you the sticker in Dallas, and they'll come out and treat it for free.
All right.
This is, again, more vegetation. So another reason that I'm taking pictures of this, although it's going to be in the termite report, which will be a separate report, is if you're doing a VA loan or FHA loan, they're not going to want any vegetation touching the structure or any high soil. They won't fund the loan. Also, some small banks. If you're doing a conventional or paying cash, it doesn't matter.
I don't like it either. It needs to be trimmed back there.
It should be trimmed away. Yeah. You can see the high soil there.
Yeah.
And high soil there.
Are those rat traps?
That's a rat trap.
Is that normal?
Well, out here, this is still so kind of rural. I mean, it's hard to say rural because they're nice houses, but it's not that overdeveloped yet. So you're gonna.
Is it field mice or really rats?
Probably rats.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably gonna see coyotes out here.
Hopefully they'll eat them.
Yeah, coyotes, foxes, maybe some things like that. Again, this is more vegetation.
Okay.
More vegetation.
I saw that.
Yeah, this is they put that type too far through, so it's starting to rust. Now I have seen, if you get enough, and you've got quite a few of the spots that you can't really see them now. That are kind of hidden where you've got multiple locations.
Yeah.
So you could run into a situation down the road where these rocks come loose because there's nothing tying them. You could also clean that up and then seal it off and help reduce that rusting.
So it's where a metal.
Yeah, it's a tie that they put through there, and then they went too far through.
Okay.
They should have stopped, just short of it. But you can see there's a bunch of little ones.
Looks like they fixed a crack.
Yeah. This is one of the cracks. Yeah, this is and you can have these cracks what's called repointed. The only problem, one thing I don't like about repointing cracks at the front of the house is if you don't have a good mortar guy, this crack that you can really barely see goes from something you can barely see to something that stands right out, especially up front. You walk up and you see a different color mortar, it just pops right out at you. So I always tell people to just use something clear, or just if the vapor barrier is done right, you're not going to have any problems.
Okay.
This is another crack here. Same thing, and again, it's through the mortar joint, which is better. That's just the location. This is your other condenser, manufacturer label. Again, these two things are really for me. Then I'm going to video. Okay, here. And they both sounded good. They both are running good. And again, although this won't be in the report, this will be in the video recording.
Sprinkler right there. Hope it's not blowing on it.
There's some sprinkler issues we're going to get to here later. I don't remember seeing it blowing. This is your other water heater, and it was fine.
Okay. And there's, I assume, a cover for that, right?
Yeah. I just had to add a place there. Just I take a picture of it. Yeah. This is more vegetation, and then there's a couple big things there on the back that are completely covering the wall. So most of the stuff I can look through the inside, I can see behind it, but there's so there and there. Again, I don't think there's anything there.
Okay.
This fireplace does work, but it looks like only one of those little, I can't remember the ventral. I don't know what you even call the little cuts in there in the burner pipe. I can't remember the name of them right now. It looks like only one of them is.
The slit's open.
The slit is open,
okay.
So it looks like they've been only burning wood here, and it looks like they possibly at some point did not have the damper open.
Yeah, I saw the darkness on the.
So usually that's because the damper's not open or it's not vented properly. It's pretty.
Yeah.
That's probably because the damper was open. You can get rid of that to a point. It's not going to ever go completely away. This is the sprinkler system. There is 17 zones. I did test all 17, and there were some problems, and I've got some videos here. Okay, this is a video of this is zone 1, and there's several of them that popped up, and nothing's happening, nothing's spraying of them. And another one that's barely just bubbling out, that you'll see here. Zone 1. Is that one that nothing happening? That one's barely coming out.
Yeah.
A little bit. The other ones are coming up. So what this might mean is somewhere under there is a broken pipe, because it's getting some are popping up fine and others aren't. So there may be some broken plumbing under there. Usually you can see that. Usually you can see that it's not getting full force. Usually you can see it bubbling under the ground, but it's not doing it there. Yeah, they can get the big flakes. Yeah, that's zone 1. I just took this because I happened to notice that this light that never came on. That light bulb, it looks like it may be broken.
Okay.
So that'll be in the report right there, that location. This is zone 12, and the deal here was, when I got to zone 12, it stopped doing. You couldn't cycle through the zones like normally. You go to manual or to test, and then you go next, next. When I got to 12, it shut off. So I had to do 13 through 17 manually. Reset it each time. They all worked, and there's a few. I think there's a couple more issues, but that's just saying one, just so I remember. One, that's just for me, just to remember. Okay, this is drip irrigation that's broken, and this is a video actually. This is right up front, pouring out of the ground. And I showed the zone. That's where it's at. That was zone 14. This is another one up front. I think it's up front. Oh, this is in the back actually. Again, pouring out of the ground.
Near that.
Yep. Okay. Yep. And that's right there.
That's just the tubing's got a cut in it.
Yeah. Okay. That's in zone 15. So that's the end of the sprinkler. So that's just a few things there. In the attic area, they've got quite a bit of stuff stored up there. Again, I don't think there's anything hidden back there, but I don't know. So there'll be a statement just saying the inspector couldn't see. Please consult with the sellers. Disclose anything that may be there. They also are storing. Should really not be storing paint in an attic. If there's a fire, it's going to make the fire worse. Plus, there's certain chemicals that may mix and cause combustion and cause a fire. There's a lot of stuff stored up there. This is also where the 2 air handlers furnaces are.
Okay. How did you get access up there? Was it through the
through the garage? Yeah. Through the garage. You walk up those stairs.
Yeah.
And to the left is and now there is storage area.
Okay.
All filters were clean, which is good. The only thing they don't have any float switches on the drain pan. It's not required by code when this house is built. I'm going to put it in the report just to see if they'll do it. If they don't, and you end up doing it yourself, I would not do a pan. I would do a condensate switch. If it's a pan switch, what happens is it'll trip into this pan, but it's not enough to trip the float switch. But it's enough over time to rush the pan out, and you still get a leak.
So you put a switch on
the main condensate, on the first condensate. That way you avoid dealing with the pan. You do it if there's a problem.
Just goes right into the tube.
Right away. Yep, that goes into the city plumbing. Yep.
Okay.
So here's the AC differential. The range we're looking for is for 15 to 20 degrees.
Yeah.
So we have a 56 and a 66. So it's a 10-degree difference. Not cooling very good at all. It's not even that hot out. So that's about 5 degrees. It could be just a calibration issue, but also 5 degrees is a pretty good difference since it's the low end of the range. That could be even though it's only 4 years old, it could be a freon leak. Carrier, if they called in the carrier units when they installed them, carrier gives you 10 years. So hopefully they did that. Regardless, you still have 5 years. That's just the north unit. This is your other south unit. Same thing, no condensate switch. And we have a 58 and a 70, so 12 degrees. Better, but still not within not even within the. If it was 105 degrees outside, it still should be 15. It should be at the low end of the range. When it gets really hot, the differential shrinks, and you're not going to get that 20. Only about 25 degrees. So if it's 105, you're only going to get about 80, about 25 degrees out of it. But this filter is a little bit dirtier, but they're washable.
Okay.
This is a double filter. This is your ventilation system, and this is not something we inspect. So I just want to let you know that's not something I inspect.
So
they have it off.
Is that movable dampers?
Yeah, that opens up it's set for you can do it from 0 to every 60 minutes. but that to open up and let air in, just additional air to help. In the summer, you would use it. You would use it in the summertime.
So it's a fresh air intake.
Yeah, you would not use that in the wintertime. It'd be just a summertime thing. That may be why it's completely off right now. Okay, this is probably me being picky, but it's a nice house, so almost all the fixtures are loose, very loose.
Okay.
I'll show you like this one's right here for example. This is one of the tighter ones. So my thing is they're not going to get loose, tighter every time. They're only going to get looser. Right. All the bathrooms, some are much looser than that even.
That's strange.
Yeah, that's just
lazy. Didn't get much use. It's just probably not installed right.
They weren't installed. That's exactly what they weren't installed right. So that's just showing them moving back and forth. This is in one of the This is in this bathroom over here, powder bathroom. The shower, this little grout line that's cracking. So that needs to be caulked or sealed. Actually, that's the bedroom. Just need to caulk and seal in there.
Okay.
This is the microwave. Microwave worked fine.
Okay.
That's just showing it heating. Double oven, both set to 350. Both heated to right within the range. The range is 325 to 375. Okay. Both heated properly. The dishwasher, by the time I got in here, I was outside so long it had finished the whole cycle, so I had to restart it over again. The last time I checked, it hadn't heated up to above 120. So
what is that a problem?
Yeah, it needs to reach 120 because 120 is when it starts killing germs. Things like Legionnaire's disease can be found.
And it wasn't eating up that much.
One of them only got to about 90 something. The other one, I think, I got 113. I've got pictures of it.
Yeah, we were worried about that. They get terrible reviews. Those
did it?
Are horrible.
Okay.
They're rated terrible.
Yeah, you want 120 minimum. You 120 minimum just for killing germs.
Yeah.
And then no higher than 150.
Yeah, we were suspicious about the unit when we looked.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of those, to be honest with you.
No.
They're always in nice houses, but I don't see a ton.
They got a weird mixture of appliances here.
Yeah.
I don't know if they got them all on eBay or what.
Maybe. I don't know. It's definitely a hodgepodge of different things. Well, Frigidaire and they're actually the same company.
There's Electrolux, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's just the high end of it. That's what I just showed you, that being loose. I did fill up both sinks, drained them at the same time that I ran the disposal, looked for any kind of leaks into the sink. No leaks.
Okay.
The disposal did work. Here's my sticker. Okay, so this is just right under here.
Okay.
And this is the number right here in Dallas. This is a pretty big local. I think they've got 5 locations now. They've been around like 40, 50 years.
All right.
That's who holds my license. Never had any problems with them covering warranties. This is the cooktop, and it worked fine.
Okay.
The refrigerator, we don't inspect. It actually takes special equipment. They've got to hook up to it. It will actually tell you how many times you've opened the door.
Yeah.
A bunch of different stuff. I would probably get a warranty on that sucker because mine's not even that big, and it's I don't know, $12,000. That's probably 20 grand. And we could get a warranty on ours. The guy told us that you need a warranty because just like this one party showed us that's $1,800. You know, so. That one's big, just as much as any Sub-Zero probably. This is okay. So this is an outlet by the utility room sink, and it's not working. No, it's working. It's not GFCI protected.
Yeah. Oh, because it's too close to the water.
Too close to the water. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's a shock hazard. And then here's another bathroom. If you see it, see it move.
Yeah.
Loose. This is also I think this is the master. No, this is the other bedroom. Yeah. Same thing. Need a caulk and seal in there. See, we got 97, 98. That was my second or third reading. And then, well, that's upside down. I don't know why it's upside down.
102?
Yeah.
0.5?
Yeah, I think I got 113 at one point. There we go. This fireplace does not work at all. Also, at some point they were burning wood because you can see the smoke coming out. It's a switchable fireplace. And the realtor actually told me that it didn't work when I got here. So I went ahead and tested it anyway.
Okay.
So it's either the pilot light is not lit, or it doesn't work, or there's some other underlying problem. Usually it's because the pilot light's not lit. But my fireplace at my house, it took 12 years to find the problem with it. It never worked. Finally, after about 10 visits, somebody finally figured out why it wasn't working. I don't remember now.
Okay. But you could burn wood in that one? You said
Yeah,
switchable.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. And then this is around the master tub. It needs to be caulked around that perimeter.
Okay.
And then the tub does not have an access panel for the motor. So
Wow.
one of the things that we check if we have access is to make sure the motor is bonded, electrically bonded, and make sure there's no kind of leaking, drip leaking. So we don't know if it's bonded properly, and sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
And there could be a massive, if there's a drip leak under there, it could be a massive amount of mold under there. We don't know. I don't think that's the case. At some point, probably after 4 years,
Make sure
UVC, yeah, not going to get.
Usually they leave one piece of tile that you can.
Yeah,
get
I've heard different things. I've heard that if you pick at the corners, at the grout line, you'll find a string in there, and you can pull that string, and it will
pull the motor out.
Pull the motor out. I've heard that. I don't know. They can definitely put one here. I've seen where you can't even tell there's a panel there, and you push on it, and it pops out, opens up. So they can do it. They always say, well, it doesn't look. Buyers don't like it. It doesn't look good.
This is getting mold under there.
Yeah, and that's another sink.
Yeah, another crooked one.
Yeah, and another one. That's the master. Both in the master. One's very loose. This right one's very, very loose. The toilet they had off for some reason, so I left it off. If something's off, we leave it off.
Yeah.
So as soon as I turn it on, I take responsibility for it. So that needs to be. They need to tell you what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, it's either running continuously or there's a leak. Here's another reading. This is probably 20 minutes later, and still it's not. I did get 111. What's that? Oh, second one upside down all the time.
So was their listing agent coming back here at the end, or
no? I got the impression he doesn't want to have to deal with the seller too much. These pictures are just to make sure that if I mess with any of these things, I put them back where I find them. Only thing I really found, there's a couple things here. Pressure's getting a little high. You can see it's almost at the dirty part. So backwash or filter change or something like that. I'll put in the report for a full service because it may be 4 years since they've done it. We don't know.
All right.
Burner compartment on the heater looks good. No deterioration, no rust. And it was heating.
Okay.
Only thing is that door was sitting open when I got there. I tried to put it back in place. I can't get that door.
Seal good.
It doesn't go back. We can't get it to screw. Can't get it to close. I don't know what the deal is with that. This is it's usually hotter than this.
What are you pointing at?
At the temperature.
Oh, at the exit side.
Yeah, usually on that exhaust, I get like 270 up to 350 temperature. So, but it was heating.
Okay.
This filter pot here.
Yeah.
When I switched through some of the functions, it was shooting water out. So either it needs a new gasket, or they maybe have enough at this tight enough. Yeah, new seal ring. And that's it. So probably air conditioning would probably be the big thing.
Yeah, that concerns me. I just had to install new ones in my house in Cypress, and the differential was like 20 degrees after I put the new ones in.
Yeah, that's where it should be, 20 degrees. Yeah.